Welcome back to Madman Review. A few weeks ago, we uploaded a video about World War III, and some of you guys said we were only fear-mongering. While we do love the YouTube money we get paid whenever any of our videos get views, fear-mongering is not something we're interested in. There is verifiable info on the inevitability of a war between China and Taiwan. You only need to do a quick Google search to find it. So how is this related to this video? You see, if Jinping gets tired of sending warplanes to Taiwan to scare the living daylights out of Ingwen, it could mean one of two things. Either someone assassinated him, which is a good thing, or he all of a sudden grew the balls to attack Taiwan. If it's the latter, you can bet your butts that we will be pulled into another nonsensical war. And if we're going to war, wouldn't you at least want to know more about the weapons used by the Chinese PLA? In this video, we'll talk about the sidearms Chinese soldiers carry. These tell us a lot about their tactics on the battlefield. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if all the info we've gathered online is accurate, we need more 5.7 by 28 pistols in the country. The PLA has experimented with various pistols over the last century in their pursuit of the perfect one. Some are successful, others are MA. Throughout this episode, we'll explore the evolution of Chinese military sidearms, their usage in wars, and the reasons behind their eventual replacements. C96. The C96 aka. The broom handle gained widespread use in China after its production began in 1896 by three German brothers. Its futuristic design, reminiscent of Han Solo's blaster in Star Wars and Buck Rogers' atomic pistol, made it stand out from its contemporaries. China adopted the C96 as its primary service pistol during the warlord era, from 1916 to 1928 due to a European embargo on exporting rifles to the country. In the 1920s, China faced trade disputes, but they found a cheaper alternative to the German C96 by purchasing a copy from a Spanish company. Eventually, they decided to reverse engineer the design and mass produce it at an arsenal in Shanghai to avoid licensing fees. During the Chinese Civil War in 1927 and World War II in the late 1930s, the C96 saw combat. Its long barrel and high-velocity ammo provided better accuracy than its contemporary sidearms. When Japan invaded China in 1937, the Chinese factions temporarily set aside their differences and united to fight against the common enemy. The quality of the domestically produced C96 pistols during World War II varied greatly, with some rivaling the German originals in quality, while others were crudely made in smaller shops. Despite its mixed origins and variations, the C96 remained popular in China, sought after by various factions, including nationalists, communists, and warlords. Shanxi Type 17. During World War II, the Chinese created many variants of the C96 to fire the larger American .45 ACP ammunition due to logistical issues with supplying the original rounds. This decision allowed them to consolidate ammunition with the .45 caliber Tommy guns they were producing. Around 8,500 Shanxi Type 17 pistols were made between 1928 and 193. These .45 caliber versions were larger and heavier than the original C96, featuring a non-removable fixed box magazine placed by the trigger guard. The C96 had a high muzzle velocity of 440 meters per second, making it effective at longer ranges, reaching up to 200 meters in skilled hands. The main reason for replacing the C96 with the Shanxi Type 17 was the Chinese Army's desire for a pistol with a detachable magazine for quicker reloading. The Type 17's larger frame and 10-round magazine set it apart from the standard 7. 63mm C96, and they share no interchangeable parts. After the Chinese Civil War, most of the Shanxi 17 pistols were melted down due to their unusual caliber for the Chinese Communist forces. However, a few examples were exported for commercial sale overseas. Some debate remains regarding the number of Shanxi .45 caliber pistols produced for Yen's troops and how many were later created for the U.S. collector's market. The Type 17's production played a role in equipping Yen Shishan's troops during the warlord era, who were already using the locally produced .45 ACP Thompson submachine gun. The standardization of ammunition in Yen's arsenal simplified supply logistics for his forces. Makarov. In 1947, China and the Soviet Union grew closer after China adopted communism. The People's Liberation Army used the 9mm Makarov pistol acquired from the Soviet Union, replacing the C-96. Despite its ballistic performance, the Makarov's 8-round detachable box magazine made it better than the C-96. But China would eventually replace it to distance itself from the Soviet Union. Stechkin. The Chinese military also used another Soviet Union pistol, the 9mm Stechkin. American soldiers of the time considered it more lethal than the Makarov. Declassified U.S. military reports from the 1950s praised its firepower and imposing nature. The U.S. Army Handbook described it as a true machine pistol capable of full auto or semi-auto fire, with a 20-round magazine and blowback operation. Scared much? Type 54. The Type 54 pistol is a crude pistol that vaguely resembles the 1911, adopted by China in 1954. It was inspired by the American 1911 used in the Korean War. It fired the 7.62 by 25mm Tokarev cartridge with an 8-round box magazine. It was used in the Sino-Indian War in 1962 and was later sent to support North Vietnamese troops during the Vietnam War. The pistol is colloquially known as the Black Star, due to the star engraved on its grip. It evolved from the Type 51, a Chinese copy of the Tokarev TT-33. While the QSZ-92 has supplemented it in the Army, the Type 54 is still in use in some Chinese armed forces like the People's Armed Police and certain People's Liberation Army units. Type 64. The Type 64 pistol, developed in 1964, aimed to replace the Makarov and Type 54, becoming China's first domestically designed firearm. Due to the Cultural Revolution, a very long period in China's history where millions died, the development of the Type 64 was delayed until 1980. It uses the 7.62 by 17mm Type 64 cartridge, resembling the .32 ACP round, and features PPK's straight blowback open bolt and single-action mechanism with a safety lever. Despite being small and issued initially to high-ranking PLA officers, it faced ergonomic and accuracy issues during semi-automatic firing. Eventually, it was also replaced by the QSZ-92 in the PLA, but it continues to be used by the People's Armed Police and some civilian police units. Type 77. The Type 77 is a 7.62 by 17mm semi-automatic pistol used by the Chinese PLA, People's Armed Police, and various Chinese police forces. It served as the main sidearm for the PLA for over 2 decades, but is gradually being replaced by the QSZ-92. However, it remains widely used among second-line military units and provincial police forces. Development began in 1976, and the finalized design was designated as Type 77 in 1981, with the development of variants for the international market starting in 1990. QSZ-92. The QSZ-92 is the Chinese military's current standard-issue sidearm. Introduced in 1994, the pistol has a durable design with a barrel life of about 10,000 rounds. Unlike the civilian version chambered in 9mm, the military version uses the 5.8 by 21mm cartridge, allowing for a larger magazine capacity of 20 rounds. This cartridge boasts impressive penetration capabilities, being able to penetrate 1.3mm of helmet steel and 50mm of pine wood at a distance of 100 meters. The QSZ-92 is considered a point of pride for the Chinese military as it was domestically designed and is their official sidearm. While it has some international presence, its adoption in other countries has been modest. The QSZ-92 has a conventional appearance and layout similar to Western pistols, but features a steel trigger assembly within a polymer frame. It can be chambered in either 9mm or 5.8 by 21 armor-piercing rounds similar to the FN 5.7 by 28. The 5.8 by 21 variant is more prevalent in the PLA as it is more powerful and provides a larger 20-round mag compared to the 9mm variant's 15-round mag. China's People's Liberation Army is the primary user of the QSZ-92, while Bangladesh also utilizes a 9mm variant known as the Type 92 inches for its military. While the QSZ-92 is a reliable and aesthetically pleasing firearm, it lacks tactical furniture for mounting modern optics and flashlights. The inclusion of such features would make it more modular and adaptable for various operational requirements. Despite this, the QSZ-92 remains an important asset for the Chinese military and represents a significant advancement in the country's indigenous firearms development. CF-98. The CNEKO CF-98, also known as the EMEI CF-98-9, is a 9mm semi-automatic pistol manufactured in China. It is an export version of the QSZ-92 and features a rotating barrel, hammer-fired action with a decocker safety combo, and a detachable steel frame inside the polymer grip. The pistol is relatively affordable, priced at around $250. The grip size is small, making it suitable for individuals with smaller hands. However, the magazine base pad extends the grip height, which might cause discomfort when inserting a magazine quickly. The safety also acts as a decocker, similar to the Beretta 92 design, and is located on the frame. Carrying it with the hammer back and safety on is not possible. The slide offers ample space and serrations at the rear for a better grip, but the sights are reported to be terrible and not very functional. The trigger in single action is acceptable, but the double action is gritty and not ideal. Despite its light finish, the pistol has good reliability and experiences very few failures during firing. It utilizes a rotating barrel system, which sets it apart from standard tilting barrel pistols but doesn't significantly impact its operation. Overall, the CNEKO CF-98 is a budget-friendly pistol with some notable shortcomings in its sights and trigger, but it remains a reliable option for those seeking an affordable 9mm handgun. QSZ-11. The QSZ-11, also known as Type 11, is a compact pistol produced in China, smaller than the standard Type 92 military pistol. Adopted by the PLA, it's designed for officers and military personnel needing a less noticeable defensive weapon. The gun features an aluminum alloy frame and a simple blowback action with a double-action trigger and slide-mounted manual safety. It uses single stack box magazines with an 8-round capacity and is optimized for 5.8 by 22 DCV-05 subsonic ammo. Its overall length is 6.02 inches and it weighs 21.16 ounces empty. QX04 Modular Design Pistol. The QX04 is a modular semi-automatic pistol used by the People's Liberation Army and Chinese police departments, mainly intended for international markets and exports. The pistol features 4 calibers, including 9 by 19 mm Luger, 45 ACP, 7.62 by 25 mm Tokarev, and 40 S&W. Interchangeable by changing the slide, barrel, and magazine. It shares similarities with the QSZ-92 service pistol, but operates differently with a unique fluted barrel design. The production variant, named CSLP-6, was showcased in 2011. The QX04 action resembles the Savage 1907 automatic handgun, but remains unclear whether it's considered a delayed blowback or retarded blowback pistol. QSW-06. The QSW-06 is a 5.8 mm silenced pistol used by the People's Liberation Army and Chinese police, designed as a replacement for the QSW-67 silent pistol. It is based on the QSZ-92 service pistol, sharing a similar appearance and 60% of its components. However, it differs internally, using a non-rotating barrel lock instead of the QSZ-92 rotating barrel. The pistol is chambered for DCV-05 5.8 by 21 mm subsonic round, reducing noise. It can also fire the standard PLA pistol round, DAP 92 5.8 by 21 mm. The QSW-06 features a double-column 20-round magazine and a rail for accessories, along with a detachable suppressor.